po sa inyong lahat and welcome to PTS Pinoy Tayo San Man. And this one is a special program sa araw na ito dahil hindi ko na po pahabain po yung introduction. Dahil I'm sure you have lots of questions. Kasama po natin or ako po yung nagagala. Finally, nakasama po natin siya. Hindi lamang po online pero dito live sa studio. Ang kalihim po natin ng Department of Migrant Workers, walang iba kung hindi si Hans Leo Cacdac.
Yes, magandang hapon sa inyo, Sir Michael, at sa inyong mga tagapakinig, tagapanood dito sa Hong Kong. We're glad to be here. I'm joined by two Assistant Secretaries of the Department of Migrant Workers, Assistant Secretary Jules Ambito and Assistant Secretary Reggie Gallas, and si Sir Danny ng ating Assistants to Nationals. And somewhere out there is Assistant Labor Attaché Karen Arlan. Si Karen, ano? So we're glad to be here.
Sir, alam namin na since you took over, it's been like a roller coaster ride. Number one, of course, after taking the hat, so to speak,
Yes.
sa ating kagalang-galang na
Yes,
Susan Osen.
exactly.
How has it been?
Yes, you're exactly right. It's been quite a ride, and as always naman, government service, and especially when it comes to serving our OFWs, is always faced with a lot of challenges. But at the same time, it's exciting kasi it's the building and formation of a new department. Second to the youngest, dati youngest kami, dati bunso kami, but now there's the Department of Policy and Planning. So far, it's been all about setting up the house, the tahanan ng OFWs, and I'm glad to report that we have rendered the oath to about 800 new positions, employees to new positions. That means our workforce now is substantially new, but at the same time stronger, more, and better. To give you an idea, ang isang DMW regional office ng POA days, mga 5-6 na tao lang. Ngayon, regional office in all 16 regions of the Philippines ay umabot na ng 25, 30, up to 35, and one region even 40. So, talagang dumami, reinforced tayo. And then, of course, there's the many programs and services that the President, who is an OFW President, I like to call him that, with his overwhelming mandate from the OFWs, ay marami siyang mga direktiba sa amin na tagubili na bigyan ng proteksyon, bigyan ng lunas ang mga karaingan, mga dinudulog ng OFW. So we have been administering the 2 billion a year action fund, legal, medical assistance, and financial assistance. In fact, before I stepped in here, we just literally on the sidewalk outside this building, we talked to 3 OFWs, 2 of them with cancer, and the other one with a home that's been damaged, body damage back home in Negros Occidental. So we are helping them through this fund, financial assistance fund. So setting up the overseas posts, filling up positions, and appointing new labor attaches on the ground, creating new offices. So we have 4 new migrant workers offices thus far. One of them is still slated to be set up but already approved. 2 of them actually already approved. But we've set up literally 3 already in Vienna, in Budapest, and in Bangkok. So 42 na ngayon, dati 39 at 42. And by the year's end, magiging 44 to 45 yan. And next year, dadagdagan pa ng mga 5 hanggang 8 na bago. So it's all been building literally from the ground up itong ating department, but at the same time continuing to provide assistance, yung mga emergency assistance. We've been faced with 2 major global conflicts in the last 2 years. There's the Sudan civil war, and of course the war in the Middle East that began with the attack of Hamas on Israel on October 7, 2023. We have been always on guard in terms of everything and anything that's happening in these 2 conflicts. The Middle East situation may ceasefire na, but still we're monitoring the situation. And then maybe one thing more I could say is yung illegal scam hubs in Southeast Asia. So with the Middle Eastern emergency, with the Sudan civil war, with SecToots at the time, we managed to bring home together with the DFA 750 OFWs of overseas Filipinos from Sudan. Here, almost 4,000 na sa Middle East, as between Israel, Lebanon, and Gaza and the West Bank. But still continuing. We had a chartered flight, of course, that big charter flight last year. Ito naman, sa illegal scam hubs, we're slated to have our biggest repatriation effort. Ito, this coming week, 346.
Ito yung sa Burma, no,
We,
sir?
we'll charter one whole plane. Dati kasi mga block booking lang yan, 100, 200, gano'n. Ito, 346 or so in one whole chartered flight, PAL flight. Yes, they came from Myawaddy, the border town ng Myanmar. They crossed eastern Myanmar. They crossed over to western Thailand in a town called Mesot. At nagpadala tayo ng grupo doon, 7-8 person DMW OWA team in partnership with the DFA para tulungan yung mga nandun sa mga detention immigration centers at the border, at the Myanmar-Thai border. But finally, they've been cleared, and on Wednesday, they will be home via a PAL chartered flight. And of course, tagubili na naman ni Presidente, whole of government approach, yun nandiyan ng DOH, DSWD, TESDA, DFA of course, and the DOLE who will be there to provide assistance when they come home.
Sir, we know that the number of migrant workers are increasing pa rin. At the
yes.
number right now, we're talking about 10 million across every country.
With the permanent residents,
Yes,
10 to
yes.
11, yes,
Correct,
yes,
correct.
yes.
But that's still growing. Diba?
Yes, it is.
Tumataas
Yes,
pa rin
yes,
siya.
yes,
And
yes.
base dito sa kumbaga, taas ng bilang na yan. And of course, with considering that dito sa Hong Kong, no, looking at it, we're talking about foreign domestic helpers nakafocus. Are we prepared for eventuality on AI coming in and of course upgrading the skill set?
Yes, yes. That's a very good question. Yes, you're right. First of all, bumalik sa pre-pandemic levels on deployments and more. 2.1, 2.2 million deployments pre-pandemic. Bumaba yan ng drastically ng just over a million nung worst years ng pandemic. But we were back up to 2.4. So mas malaki pa dun sa 2.2 million ng pre-pandemic. And the demand for OFWs continues. We continue to be the highest, provide the highest quality of workers in healthcare, human care, services, construction, hospitality. Well, actually, you name it, no, the whole range, entertainment, highly technical, scientists, professors, everything, doctors, nurses, ganyan, no, caregivers. So we run the whole range of job categories. Ngayon, the question on AI. May isa pa yung green economy, yung green jobs. Right now, of course, there are OFWs who are literally, as we speak, transitioning to green jobs sa AI. Sa mismong bansa natin, meron na mga digital jobs. Digitalized na rin ang ilang types of work according to the DICT, and in fact, numbering in around 200-300,000 sa pagkaalala ko yung data ng mga naha-hire sa mga digital types of work. So nasa Pilipinas na rin yan, nasa atin na. But having said that, we have of course our own TESDA and our CHED, Commission on Higher Education, who are also transitioning our various courses into the digital age, AI, and such. But having said that, no less than the employers in the World Economic Forum, the last one in Davos, there's always a survey of employers there. Nandun pa rin yung una, hindi klaro na whether na yung fear na madi-displace ang jobs because of AI, because there is still a clear demand for frontline work. At ang frontline work na dinidescribe is exactly the types of jobs that Filipinos have or the skill sets that we possess. So, you're talking of, ayan, yung binanggit ko kanina, construction, hospitality, hindi mo mapapalitan ng AI. Yung ngiti at yung personal touch ng isang naninilbihan sa hospitality sector, health and human care. I'm just not talking about the professional healthcare workers. I'm also talking about caregivers and other types of allied human care work. Teachers, kahit papano hindi mapapalitan ang teachers. even the types of workers who are here in Hong Kong, domestic workers, uh, tinataguri ang elementary occupation, but nevertheless still dignified work, which has sustained so many Filipino families. Ngayon, 204,000 ang bilang ng domestic workers dito, about 95% of the OFWs here. So, nandun pa rin yung frontline work, personal touch services work, that will never be surpassed by AI. So my answer is yes and no. Yes, we are preparing our training and education systems back home. We make sure that we provide feedback sa CHED at sa educational agencies and institutions sa atin sa DepEd and CHED about the demands ng mga foreign markets. But at the same time, sa tingin ko, we will still, the world, the employers in the recent survey, as I mentioned, in the World Economic Forum, still pretty much recognize the need for so-called frontline personal services that Filipinos are known for.
I know that you had a sort of meeting with Labor and Welfare Secretary Chris yesterday.
Yes.
Yes. And among the agendas in previous kumbaga, talks, no, when si dating Susan Ople was still here. And I think
Yes.
what part of the negotiating panel was si Ma'am PY, no?
Yes.
Regarding the healthcare situation. Kumbaga, yung mga nursing aid at saka caregivers, an upgrade skill set ng ating mga Pilipino
Yes,
for
yes.
the elderly population
Yes.
of Hong Kong.
Yes.
Has that been brought up?
Well, there were discussions about how we could upskill our domestic work. Let me say the talks are underway along those lines, pero hindi ko muna ilalahad din yung mga detalye na pag-usapan din namin ni Secretary Chris that there's so much spade work or should I say technical preparatory groundwork to be done. But let me just say this, on our side, napakahalaga nung binanggit nyo, which is yung ating domestic workers back home, especially those who are hired in the should I say far-flung areas or in the provinces. Binabago na natin yung recruitment culture dyan na ang tawag ko dyan recruitment trap because isa lang ang ino-offer na trabaho, domestic work. Bakit ganon? Lalo na sa ating mga kababaihan. So ang kailangan natin gawin is baguhin yung trend na yon, ibahin o i-reverse yung trend na yon na such a way na upskilled ang categories na i-offer sa kanya. So baka naman hindi lang domestic worker ang mga o-offer mo sa kababaihan natin mga aplikante. Baka naman pwedeng offeran ng caregiving.
Correct.
Pwedeng offeran ng hospitality work, barista.
Correct.
Pwede pa ngang technical construction work. Marami na rin mga OFW na females na welder, for instance. So, what I'm trying to say is, napapanahon na at kasama na rin dito yung mga job applicants dito sa Hong Kong na posible naman na offeran na rin sila ng iba namang job category. Total, kung halimbawa sila ay mag-aalaga ng bata, matanda o may sakit, baka naman yun ang job category na hinahanap natin. I call that a demographic sweet spot. Yung bang naangat mo yung antas, we need to hit that sweet spot. Yung naangat mo na yung antas ng skills, yung level ng entitlements, benefits sa trabaho, at the same time ay hindi sila nakukulong dun sa isang job category lang. And let me just also say this. Recently, nagpahayag ang ating NEDA na meron tayong tinatawag na demographic dividend. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, sa ngayon, ang job market natin, ang labor force natin, will have more productive workers than those who have already retired. Reverse sa Hong Kong, di ba?
Okay, yes.
Mas marami aging population. So, we should already be ready to reap that demographic dividend, as it is called, na habang mas malami pa ang productive workforce natin, yun, itap natin yun. At definitely, meron tayong surplus dyan sa caregiving. Dahil marami ang qualified dyan.
Correct.
Tayong mga Pilipino, likas na caring So, it's easy for us to harness our potential to be caregivers, to be in the care economy, and we should take advantage of that while it's still there. Kasi sinasabi naman ni Sected Herbosa, in 30, 40 years time, babaliktad na rin tayo.
Correct.
Tayo na.
Tayo naman mag-hire.
Tayo na, at saka tayo na yung aalagaan.
Aalagaan, that's true.
Tayo na, yung generation natin will already form the more than number of elderly na aalagaan ng less than na bilang ng mga productive workforce. So, habang mas marami pa yung productive workforce kaysa sa elderly sa atin, this is the time. This is the time to promote skills development, upskilling, and job categories that are higher than what are just being offered to them.
There's a lot of good points that we have all over the world, no, sa ating deployment. But in Hong Kong, it's a bit, sabihin na natin, nakakatakot dahil ginagawa po itong parang hub for third country recruitment.
Yes.
And you know that, you know.
Yes.
And I've seen it that nagpasara na kayo ng iba't ibang mga
Yes.
ahensya or travel agents or consultancy firms in the Philippines. How do you address that issue on a second country group?
Yes, I understand that with the efforts also of Congen Israel, these subjects have also been opened up to the Hong Kong side, and very cooperative, I must say. So we're thankful really to the Hong Kong government for the cooperative discussions along these lines. Ngayon, ang third country hiring na tinatawag kasi, ang pinaka malupit diyan is yung kapag lower job categories at tinataga ng halaga ng pera
For recruitment, yung
ng mga recruit. So, we really need to cooperate. In fairness to the Hong Kong side, we need to be able to endorse cases. So, tumulong tayo sa case build-up. So, yun din nga ang sinasabi ko. I was in a forum with the Progressive Labor Union of Domestic Workers yesterday. At so, sabi ko sa kanila, tulungan nyo kami sa mga case build-up. Yan, third country hiring, hindi lang yan eh. Third country hiring, yung money laundering scams na pinapasukan, mga loan traps, no? Debt traps na pinapasukan ng mga workers natin. So, yun, kailangan magtulungan para mahuli yung mga salarinjans na nagpapain sa money laundering and debt traps, no? So we just need to cooperate with the host government, but it's third country hiring eh. So we also need to cooperate kasi ang first country dyan sa third country hiring setup is Pilipinas eh.
Correct.
So we also need to step up at which we are doing with our own information campaigns. So bago umalis yung kababayan natin, dapat aware sila na meron ding recruitment trap na katulad ng third country hiring. So we need to again step up with the campaign and cooperate with host governments such as the Hong Kong government.
Let me throw you a curveball.
Okay. I like baseball.
There you go. Curveball. You know that we had an incident recently of those two OFWs who were lost and who were allegedly lost, and they were found.
Yes.
And we're aware, our community is aware that they have certain responsibilities to face dito po. No?
Yes.
You came up with your own press conference, and a lot of people are questioning whether did you actually give them ng ayuda?
Yes, we did. You know, Filipinos all over the world, when they need help, we provide them assistance. Sila, as I understand it, they're terminated. And by the virtue of being terminated, they need help. Nawalan silang trabaho. They had served here in Hong Kong, they had served their families, and it's our obligation. May action fund tayo to disburse. I'm not about to make a moral judgment as to who is a good person and a bad person. Wala kasi yun sa batas. Hindi naman nakalagay doon sa batas na husgahan mo kung mabuti yan, kung may sungay yan o wala. Basta't we are responsible enough to provide assistance, even yung legal assistance natin. Parang yung PAW natin back home.
Correct.
We defend the indigent in cases that for free, no? That they are facing in court. So almost along the same lines here, we're mandated to provide legal assistance, whether it's a prosecutorial or complaining mode on the part of the worker or in defense. So we're not about to pass judgment on somebody and say kahit na anong akusasyon sa kanya sa korte, we will help. Ngayon, dun sa dalawang nangyaring nawala,
Mm.
hindi namin sila tinulungan dahil sila'y nawala at ano nangyari, ilang
Ang mahabang kwento.
nag-alalatang buong mundo at buong sambayanan at
Mm.
yun lang pala yun, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm not about to pass judgment on that matter, but rather the reality, you should not lose sight of the reality. Now, you should keep your eye on the ball, sabi nga, and not lose sight of the fact that they lost their jobs. And we're duty bound to help them. Kasi, pag uwi na sa Pilipinas, okay, marami na nag-criticize sa kanila. So, okay, that might be justified. But what happens to them when they return? At the end of the day, tatanungin din sila ng pamilya nila, sarili nila, ano nga gagawin natin nila dito? Anong magagawa ng gobyerno? Sana makabangon man lang ako. And ako, I've always believed na we should always be there in the most critical hour of need of an OFW. And that includes a situation na everybody else is bashing that person. And here comes government who will say, kahit ano pang tingin sa'yo ng netizens in the whole world, you still need help makabangon. May pamilya ka pa rin, mga anak mo, hindi lang namang kinalaman dyan sa mga nangyayari, anong sitwasyon mo. Malay naman ng karir ng anak mo, ang kabuhayan ng anak mo, ang mental state ng anak mo, dyan sa nangyari sa'yo at kung anong sinasabi ng netizens. No, that's not even part of the equation. We just simply make things clear for ourselves and say, okay, eto, Action Fund will provide you assistance because you need it.
Speaking about assistance, marami tayong mga you've just spoken earlier a while back when just getting off the transport.
Yeah.
You had a cancer victim.
Yes.
And that number is increasing in Hong Kong.
Yes.
We're talking about, of course, meron po kayong action fund that helps
Yes.
them also monetarily.
Yes.
That's one. Number two is we're looking at, kumbaga, places that we can put them, shelters. You visited the shelter
Yes.
from Catholic Center
Yes.
earlier. But meron tayong Bitun House also.
Yes. I visited Bethune also
Yes.
at some point.
So there's so many of that. Why is it so that yung ating pong with the Department of Migrant Workers, our shelter only can hold a few?
Maliit.
Yes.
Which we visited also.
Exactly. So there's some who are saying bakit hindi ho tayo
Papalitan
magkaroon.
natin. Papalitan natin yan. We are transitioning to a new labor attaché. The labor attaché coming in, his name is, well, hindi pa pala approve, hindi ko pa
Biglang na
but
bigla yun.
definitely, but definitely, we will
Hold your horses.
have a welfare-oriented labor attaché here, of course, with the permission of the host government, the DFA. But in the meantime, we have appointed welfare officer Maluso Malinog. I'm former OWA. So she is known to myself and admin PY. Very efficient worker, tried and tested, battle tested yan si Malu. And what her appointment as OIC signifies is we want somebody who is welfare oriented. And marching order number 1 with her and the assistant labor attaché Karen is to look for a shelter, and a better one. And not only that, a shelter that will also function as a training ground, training center, migrant workers resource center. Yun na naman na nakalagay sa law, hindi naman shelter Hindi lang naman shelter. So we will have a bigger and better shelter, migrant workers resource center. And I was so impressed with the sister and the Catholic Center. Napakalinis, napaka-organized. And we will definitely do the same. Of course, this is the same still. We have a social worker, Rem, helping out there at the center. So it will still have the same degree of care that we have and even more. So rest assured, pangako in 2026 we will have a new shelter because we know for sure na maraming one lesson in COVID, di ba?
Correct.
Yung mga na-terminate, di ba?
Yes.
Na biglang walang nahagilap, walang
Correct,
mapuntahan.
correct.
Yung mga kahit na yung mga good news na may nahanap naman, finish na may nahanap, waiting na lang for
Nakontrata,
visa.
oo.
Yun, kailangan din yun, di ba?
Mm.
Kailangan din nilang stayers. And of course, needless to say, yung mga traffic victims, third country victims, the hiring victims, yun. So ang pangako po namin, at ito'y mandato rin naman ng ating presidente, si Presidente Marcos, wala nang tinanong sa akin, kundi kamusta na mga OFWs natin and to make sure to be there in their hour of need. So, we will have a bigger and better welfare set of welfare programs and services for Hong Kong, more than any other country perhaps. Hong Kong should be the focus, yung cancer victims.
Correct.
Siyempre, si Secretary Toots, isang pangako natin sa kanya yan, na herself being a cancer victim, na gagawa natin paraan ng tulong yung cancer victim. Yung kasama ko kanina, dalawa sila, cancer victim. Yung isa, nagpa-opera na, yung isa, pero tuloy pa rin sa trabaho. Ganon din yung isa, pero siya ay stage 4 but needs further treatment. So we will help both. And not only that, pauwi na yung isa, yung stage 4. So magbibigay pa tayo ng tulong pag-uwi niya sa Pilipinas. Meron silang minor de edad na anak, tutulungan din natin yung mga minor de edad na anak back home. Bibigyan din natin ng some form of financial assistance back home. So rest assured, no, itong pagkakaroon ng treatment, yung preventive side, in a dialogue I had with the Filipino community yesterday, with two congresspersons, Congressman Brian Revilla, our chair in the House Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs, and our budget sponsor for the DMW budget, Congresswoman Johan Bautista. May nagtanong sa akin na as to kung paano natin mapapaigting yung ating shelters, at kung paano pa natin mabibigyan ng tulong yung check-up through medical check-ups, preventive.
Yes.
So gagawin din natin yan. So we will have medical retainers, and I think OIC Malu is already working on hiring, kasi kung may lawyer tayo ngayon, legal retainers for the legal cases. Dapat meron tayong medical retainer kung saan pwede tayong mag-refer ng mga treatment, and those who want medical checkups, yung physical exams.
Well, there were a lot of
side.
questions have actually been pointed out regarding that. Okay, kasi this has to be between host countries na, no? Hong Kong and the Philippines, kasi that's what they do apparently in Singapore. But every 6 months that an OFW gets to have a medical checkup for themselves, no? So siguro
Yes.
that's one of the things
Preventive.
that could be, yes,
Preventive.
that could be.
Kanina yung kasama ko sa yung isa, so siya, no, ovarian cancer. So sabi ko, actually it applies to the other one as well. Hereditary din yan, and nasa DNA, so meron daw siyang kapatid na nandito. So papacheck up na rin namin yung kapatid niya. Wala naman daw karamdaman, but pa-check up na natin on the preventive side, kasi baka siya rin ay dyan na rin papunta sa sitwasyon na magkaroon ng ovarian cancer. So yun, things like that, we will look out for that. Magkaroon ng preventive aspect yung ating welfare, medical welfare service.
You started the Servicio Caravan in Hong
Yes.
Kong, no? With a lot of attached agencies included. Is this going to be something of a regular thing all over the world?
Yes, of course. This is the how many cities? The 13th city, pero actually asterisk yun, kasi Hong Kong is round 2 na.
Oo nga
It
po.
all
Opo.
began in Hong Kong
Correct.
in June.
Oo.
So round 2 na itong Hong Kong, and we're moving on. But Abu Dhabi was the 13th actually, no? Ito, it's simultaneous with Hong Kong. It was Abu Dhabi, kakatapos lang. And then we're moving on to Dubai in Riyadh and Dubai. Puro mga second round na yan. Singapore, si Admin PY, no? Admin P will take it on this Saturday. So yes, we've been going around, and ito naman, yung 15 or 16 government agencies na kasama namin, ang marching orders lang naman ni Presidente, simple, make them feel the care and the services, on ground services of our government agencies. Kasama namin dito, among others, yung Philippine Statistics Authority for the National ID. Kailangan face-to-face kasi ito, kasi yung biometrics, yung iris scan metrics, yung gagawin sisilip kang ganun sa parang binoculars na ano. So, kailangan face-to-face. So, LTO was here, at kailangan face-to-face din for the issuance of the
license?
the card type driver's license. Pinakita sa akin sa amin yung parang barahang ginano nung LTO representative yung in-issue niya. Ganito, seko, tinan nyo, gano'n. Tapos, gano'n niya, binigay niya ron sa mga workers. So, anyway, merong gano'n, and SSS.
Yes.
Kasi, eto, usapin ng pension fund. Baka tanungin mo rin, na-preempt ko na yung
Sisigundahan
tanong
ko na. Sinabi nyo na, ilagay nyo na.
Kasi, 2019, nagkaroon na ng amendment to the SSS law. Not too many people know.
Okay.
And doon, mandatory na ang membership ng OFWs. And you'll be surprised, doon sa Domestic Worker Forum, ilan dito ang naghuhulog na sa SSS? More than half of the room raised their hands. Domestic worker OFWs, so have the consciousness na as well. At ito naman, just have to be aware na in a pension system, meron ka rin dapat karampatang hulog. May investment din yung... The idea kasi is, huhulog ka to... everybody creates a pool of funds.
Correct.
And by everybody, I mean those who are still of working productive age na naguhulog. For those who are already beneficiaries of a retirement fund. So, in other words, the working age people fund for the retirees. So, lahat naman tayo palapit na sa retirement. So the more na naguhulog ka as you approach retirement, pagdating mo ng retirement, yun. Pag nag-kick in na yun, lahat ng binigay mo and lahat ng binigay nung nauna sa'yo, yun na, you will benefit from it. That's the essence of a pension fund. Everybody contributes for the future of the pensioner, future pensioners, and the future of the fund. Okay. And then, pag na-pool yung fund na yan, i-invest ng SSS to investment opportunities para lumago yung fund at lumago yung benefit. O yun, that's the essence of a pension fund. So, that's been going on. Nakakalap na ng nearly 10 billion pesos daw, sabi ng SSS, out of contributions of around 1.5 million beneficiaries ng SSS. Ang average contribution is around 1,200 to around to 5,200.
Correct.
Ayan. And that's around 15% of their average monthly salary credit. And then may formula as to compute your pension. So if you earn 20,000, for instance, you multiply that by 0.4%. Plus 1,000 pesos. So, ang 20,000 earner will earn a pension of around 9,000 plus, 9,500 or something like that. Ngayon, kung gusto mong dagdagan yun, may pension booster program sila. So, dadagdagan mo yung contribution mo para yung 9,000 mo, pwedeng dumagdag yan after a 120 contribution. So, that's around 10 years. Ngayon, dito, up to 30,000 daw. Or even 40,000, sabi sa akin doon sa forum kahapon. So, the pension, on average, can be as much as 20,000 pesos kung nag-contribute ang isang Hong Kong domestic worker for a period of 10 years. Na pwede pa niyang padamihan, padagdagan through the pension booster. So, all told, there is already an existing pension fund for OFWs, and we just have to be aware of that. Of course, the recent bill of Senator Erwin Tulfo, our dear Senator Erwin, helps. So, nag-usap na kami ni Sen Erwin, and even Sen Rafi and some senators. We will sit down to discuss how to develop a bill or law if necessary to at least reconcile that with the current system ng SSS. So SSS is there. I've just brought it up kasi SSS is part of the Serbisyo Caravan. Yun naman ang tanong nyo. And all other government agencies like Pag-ibig and this Serbisyo Caravan will go on. And we will definitely back. In fact, it's still going on, di ba? Kasi nag-extend kami dahil dun sa bagyo. So, nag-extend din ng 1 day. Up to when? Up to today. Kaya mamaya meron na kaming appreciation dinner. Magluluto kami ng adobo.
Chicken lang at chicken.
With Admin PY. Magaling daw siya magluto.
Speaking about Admin PY, of course, she has brought a lot. And one of my questions dun sa first press conference namin is about the fund of OWA. No? One of the questions that I had was yung pag-increase po nung benefits, no? Burial benefits, of course, death benefits, and all that stuff. Because it's been, time immemorial, that has been the number ever since. Diba? So, according to her, I think so before you.
Even before pa.
Diba? So, ang question dun is, will that change?
Yeah. Well, first of all, sa panahon ni Pangulong Marcos, who's been very concerned, kami ni Sec Toots, sinabihan ni Presidente, take care of the OFW family, especially the children. So, sa panahon ng ating Pangulo, dumoble yung quota sa scholarship from around 1,500 to around 3,000 a year for the two scholarship programs ng OWA, yung competitive scholarship program at yung isa yung for the low-income OFWs. So, yes, pinag-aaralan po ngayon, but it's not as simple as just increasing the rates, no? So, under the law, we're required to hire an actuarian, actuarial study, to conduct an actuarial study, and that will have to be undertaken. We did this do sa rebate benefit, but we need to hire an actuarian to kailangan may science yan, as you know. Hindi ka basta-basta magtatalaga ng increase. But if the premise is kailangan naman mag-increase ay matagalan, of course, I completely agree with you. At dapat repasuhin na yung 220,000 funeral benefit,
death benefits,
pag accident, 120 pag natural, di ba? Yung kahit yung death benefit, ay yung balik Pilipinas, balik hanap buhay, 20,000 pesos. Yung disability na 20,000 pesos. Yung isa pa, yung Medical Plus program with PhilHealth. I think that needs to be reviewed to yung 50,000 for the dreaded diseases, OFWs who get afflicted with dreaded diseases. So the short answer is yes, reviewin po natin yan sa board, lalo na nandiyan na si Admin PY.
Well, you're now, I was part of the Labor Migration Management Plan yesterday, and this already has a forward thinking in terms of, it's not just about the migration issue, but also what target is in 2040, as a government itself. How are you looking at it at this present time? Because you've already gone to Rome.
Yes.
Here, the next stop would be Dubai.
Yes, we are about to launch this for the next year. This is a medium to long-term plan. So even way beyond the term of the president and then for the future. So we're laying down the groundwork for where we will be headed exactly. And of course, I think we've discussed some of it already. Is to essentially to find our strengths and enhance our continuing strengths sa overseas job market, bearing in mind that we need to harness also our local job market. So we're finding the sweet spots in terms of yung hindi tayo ma-brain drain, and or yung may potential to harness our local talent base to create a talent pool na can still have sufficient workers for our sectors and industries back home and abroad. So isa na dyan yung care economy. Madalas naming sabihin sa host countries, ako pagkausap ko yung mga counterpart labor ministers ko, sasabihin ko sa kanila, when you want somebody to take care of a host country family or family in your country, you don't need to hire a nurse. You don't need to look for a nurse professional from the Philippines and worry about whether that causes brain drain or affects our healthcare system. Kasi pwede na yung caregiver, in a sense na ang caregiver could deliver as high a quality service as a nurse to take care of the sick, the elderly, or children. So that's just one example, one job category or track that can lead us very well into the future, and at the same time sustaining our job market back home, because we have a Philippine Caregivers Act enacted 3 years ago, and the DOLE, I think, is spearheading this to harness our own care economy back home, because that's one of our core strengths, I think. Services is one of our core strengths, and taking care of people is one of the keys in terms of our in terms of further developing our job market and our economy.
Sir, on that note, your last words para sa ating mga kababayan right now?
Well, maraming salamat sa pagkakataon, Thank you for the curveballs.
I could have thrown a little bit more, but I know that you're heading home, so this will not be the only time I'm gonna have you.
No, but you know what? You warned me. And in baseball, the pitcher doesn't warn the hitter about throwing a curveball. So I need to thank you
No,
for
I had to
telling me.
I had to follow Yamamoto.
So maraming salamat, and of course it's always a good opportunity. I'm so thankful na may ganitong klaseng venue or forum for us to open up and to say our piece about issues. I know we live in a world of plurality, and by that I mean there will be agreeing and disagreeing and all the things in between kind of factors. But the important thing is, ang kagandahan naman sa sector na ginagalawan natin, you and I and everyone else, is we all agree to the basic need to help our OFWs, to protect our OFWs. So tayo, sa mga netizens, pinipitik-pitik ako, or nag-criticize, umu-okray sa mga programa namin, but at least at the end of the day, we know that we always have to move ourselves forward when we pick up on ideas, kahit okray man yan, kung may brilliant suggestion beneath the insulto or we pick that up. Rest assured, damang-dama namin yung concern ninyo, and we get your ideas and become stronger in the process. So maraming salamat sa mga venues na ganito. I always have to mention our hotline, which is 1348. At dito, pwede nyo idulog, lalo ng mga pamilya back home. At dito sa Hong Kong, I think +32 yata kung galing
632
dito.
po.
632, I'm sorry, +632. Kung meron kayong nais idulog, yung Global Center na ipinatalaga ng ating mahal na Pangulo, para po sa inyo yan sa Admiralty Building. At tumuloy lang po kayo doon. Libre ang kape, libre ang kwento ni Admin Admin PY at ni OIC Malu at ni Ala Karen. Magpakwento kayo sa kanila. Aalagaan po namin kayo. So please, wag po niyong isipin na walang nag-iisip at uma-action para sa inyo. Kung meron man kaming pagkukulang, may kaming paumanhin, but rest assured, we vow to improve in all cases. So maraming salamat sa
Thank you, sir.
opportunity.
Buti na lang, tinista kayo, sir.
Ah!
Men for others.
AMDG. Tinista rin yun.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa pakikinig nyo po at panood nyo po sa aming programa. At of course, I'm sure hindi po ito ang nahuhuling pag-imbita natin kay admin. Of course, kay secretary pala. May kasunod
Admin
yun.
din ako.
Secretary.